உங்கள் தொழிற்சாலை மற்றும் நிறுவனத்தின் மின்சார தேவையை வங்கி நிதி உதவியுடன் சொந்தமாக சோலார் பிளான்ட் அமைத்து முழுமையாக நீங்களே பூர்த்தி செய்து கொள்ளலாம். வேலன் இன்ஃப்ரா ப்ராஜெக்ட் பிரைவேட் லிமிடெட், சென்னை. 9842252166.
மீடியா உங்கள் கனவா? படிக்கும் அனைவருக்கும் இன்டர்ன்ஷிப், பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் அசிஸ்டன்ஸ். பாண்டே ஸ்கூல் ஆஃப் ஜேர்னலிசம் ஷார்ட் டேர்ம் கோர்ஸில் உடனே சேர 7338824242.
We'd like to thank the Honorable Governor for giving us this opportunity to make a brief presentation on this very auspicious occasion, and also to release an online flip book on this occasion. Thank you so much, sir.
It is yet to come.
We have called this book as Patron Sant of Tamil Nadu. That's how we called it. Because the idea of Patron Sant, while for some it may be, it's a very traditional idea. In Madras, we have the Fort St. George, which is the center of administration in Chennai. Why is it called Fort St. George? Because for England, it was the patron saint of England. So each land has a patron saint. So that way, for England, when they started their first trading post, that was the patron. So they venerated their patron saint and started in that honor. Like that, at the time of Thiruvalluvar himself, the patron saint of Tamilagam has been Maharishi Agasthyar. And later now, when we celebrate Tamil Nadu, the patron saint is obviously Sant Thiruvalluvar. So we thought this can be a dedication to the very concept of patron saint, which all the lands of the world have been having, about which you are detailed in the book very clearly. Going on to the next point.
So in this brief talk, we are going to present to you a spotlight on Thiruvalluvar's connects and as well as the context in which we can see Thiruvalluvar for today. And we are going to look at a few main aspects from the book. They are all there. It's an online book. You can always go and see and get more details. We had the previous talk and the stress was on Vaigasi Anusham. And today we are all celebrating this great day, which is a Vaigasi Anusham. And we are going to see what this Vaigasi Anusham is.
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful concept. It's a wonderful astral concept and brought down to earth. For the next few minutes, we look at the idea what this is.
So we all know that the moon keeps going around the earth as the earth keeps going around the sun. And 12 or 13 times in a year, we know that the moon is going to come exactly opposite the sun and get aligned. And when it is at these positions, there are certain stars against which it is aligned. There are at least about 12 stars for the 12 months against which this gets aligned. Now at the same time, what we also
see, this view that we're creating, actually you can't see it on, because we are looking at beyond a bird's eye view. We are looking at the astral view, and we thought it would be fit to show this because our Honorable Governor himself is a very avid astrophysicist person. So we thought we can take us all to that very, very astral view and look at it from there. That's why we created this.
So for each day itself, you will find the moon aligning against certain stars. The sky has got millions of stars, but those stars which are in this path alone are called the zodiac belt, and these 12 constellations, the signs, is what we call the zodiacs, the Rashi as we
call it in Indian languages. The Rashi means what? The cluster. A group of stars is called Rashi. The word Rashi, cluster.
So now what happens on Vaigasi Anusham is a beautiful thing. You will find that on Vaigasi Anusham, and actually one day before Vaigasi Anusham, we are going to see some magnificent things in the next 5 minutes. One, in Vaigasi Masam, as it is, we were talking Vaigasi and Vaikasi also. So in Vaigasi, the sun will be aligned with the Taurus constellation, Vrishabham. And on the opposite side, during the Purnima, the moon will be on the opposite side. And when it aligns with the Scorpio constellation over here. And here is where you have the Vishagam Nakshatram. So in this constellation is where you have Vishaga Nakshatram, which is why this month in Tamil we call it Rishabham. But in other lunar-based astronomy, you get the name of the moon, the full moon. Therefore, it becomes Vaigasi, Vishakam and Vaigasi. And this full moon, Anusham, is the day just touching this. You know, beautifully, Vishakam is called Radha. The star Vishakam is also called Radha. And Anusham is Anuradha. So the star that follows Radha. So look at it, this just one day after, immediately after the full moon. And when did we have the full moon? Just yesterday. And what was yesterday? Please remember this for the next, in the next 2-3 minutes, we are going to see the relevance of this full moon and what happened yesterday. What did we celebrate yesterday? We celebrated Buddha Purnima, right? So this is Vaigasi Anusham. And when the sun and moon flip their positions, look what happens. You get Kartigai.
180 degrees. When they move 6 months later, you get Kartika Deepam.
And it is Kartigai.
Same alignment, but flipping of position.
So, what did we celebrate besides Buddha Purnima yesterday? Vaigasi Visagam for whom? Kartikeya, Lord Kartikeya, Muruga, Skanda, right? And exactly 6 months later, you again celebrate for Skanda, Kartikeya, Kartikeya.
Kritika.
So, there is something very beautiful that's happening in science, in the skies, and we don't realize this. In the solar system, we have planets, right? Now, the Earth is over here. And there are some planets between Earth and the Sun, and some beyond Earth afterward, outside, on the other side. And we call these bigger ones, the gaseous giants, as outer. These are the inner planets. Now, the beauty is only these two planets which come between Earth and the Sun can go in front of the Sun and eclipse the Sun for us. Just the same way like the moon eclipses. The only difference is because moon apparently is of the same size when we look at it from the sun and the moon are apparently of the same size when we look at it from the Earth. You get full lunar eclipse, solar and lunar eclipses. But these are small objects when seen from Earth, so you see them as dots.
Look at see, there's a picture of dots of the Mercury crossing the sun. The other one is of the Mercury just before it enters the sun.
So here, this is from a video that was taken live from the NASA spacecraft. This is still photograph. Look at how tiny this Mercury planet which is crossing.
And what do we call Mercury in Tamil and all Indian languages?
Buddhan. Buddhan, right?
And what do we have intellect? What do we call an intellect? Buddhi.
Buddhi, right?
So Buddhan, Buddhi connect. And those who have, and who is the person who got enlightenment? Buddha. Look at the connect from Buddhan, Buddhi, Buddha. But
and those who don't have?
And those who don't have it?
Buddha.
The idea of Buddha is common to all. So it's a very traditional idea. We're not making any point here, just expressing how the concept, the word, and how the transit itself gives the vocabulary and thought, and how our son Thiruvalluvar, who has got all the intellect, is associated with this
Buddhi.
Buddhi,
Now,
Buddhan.
the point is, look at this association. When does Mercury transit the sun? The sun, from physics and from happenings that have been also recorded.
This is not astrology you're talking about. This is pure astrophysics, astronomy, Siddhanta Jyotisha, not Phalita Jyotisha. Let's be clear.
So this Mercury transits, because of its size, the inclination of its orbit and its speed of its motion, it transits the sun only in May and November. And what do we have in May and November? Visagam, Vaigasi and Kartigai. Isn't that so beautiful? And look at it, these transits, these are proofs. This was in 2016 in May and in 19 November, and then there are a few more dates. So this is how it will transit, and this is how the objects will be positioned in the sky. Now coming to the Buddhi aspect of it. Look at all the people. Now is this just something that is happening in the sky, or is this something that is a lived experience by the entire Bharata civilization?
It's a lived experience, the right word, because it's Buddha on one side, Thiruvalluvar here, and who else? All that explained in the book.
So
Nammalvar.
you have Buddha who was born on Vaigasi Visagam. You have Nammalvar again who was born on Vaigasi Visagam. You celebrate Nrsimha Jayanti in Vaigasi.
Yes, 2 days back, Nrsimha Jayanti, Swati Nakshatram.
You have temples celebrating Garuda Seva again in Vaigasi.
2 days back in Kanchipuram, it was Garuda Sevai. Again for Garuda, we are celebrating it.
Look
Same
at the
time.
two great philosopher gurus, who have started Guru Paramparas in this land. When were they born? They were born on Vaigasi, incidentally on the very same day. Shankara and Ramanuja, their birthdays always coincide.
It's no more coincidence. Look at the logic, science in it. It cannot be mere coincidence with so many.
Thiruvalluvar again, today is his Tirunal. Who else? We have
Kanchi, Chandrasekhara Saraswati, Sakkacharya Swami.
Kanchi Perivar
Again,
also again on the same day. So are these just coincidences, what we may ask? But when you correlate it with Mercury and so many other aspects from the sky, it just baffles you.
And
But another greater coincidence, who else does Thiruvalluvar celebrate his birthday with? Very close. In many of the years, see, you must remember that in northern India and southern India, we have the solar-based calendar. There they have the lunar-based calendars. Sometimes the months may move 1 or 2 days ahead, but sometimes they fall on the same day. And who is the person he shares his birthday with on those days? Sant Kabir Das.
And what did he give? Dohe. 2 lines, verses. What did our Sant Thiruvalluvar give us? Thirukural all with again 2 verses, couplets. Look at again the connection. It's just getting more and more so wonderful, the connection. And we had the good opportunity to go to the pond, the Sarovar where he was born, and also his Janma Sthal.
And where is this Janmasthal? Why is it in Kashi? It is in Kashi. It is in Varanasi.
Beautiful.
They said, why Kashi? It is in Varanasi. And Sant Kabir Das was also a weaver. So we have many traditions, traditional accounts which talk about Thiruvalluvar being a weaver. So this is also another great coincidence that we can see
Amazing.
between Thiruvalluvar, and these are the parallels. So this time window of celebrating Thiruvalluvar on a Vaigasi Anusham is a natural phenomenon which you see in the sky. You're also seeing that such great intellectuals have been born in this land in this time window. So
Time window, astral time window of Buddhi, intellect. Look at the beauty of it. And that is what we have celebrated, the intelligence of this land.
And we have had Professor Sami Tyagarajan and Gautaman over here who have actually taken the pains to list and maintain this tradition. And we have Gautaman ji who has given us some of these photographs to include in the book about conference gatherings to celebrate. So this part of Bharat has been holding this memory of Thiruvalluvar and celebrating him on Vaigasi Anusham for many years, and in recent times we have the evidences.
So we speak about how he comes from the pre-deluge, pre-Kadalkol. So that puts the antiquity of Thiruvalluvar so much more, which we deal with it in the flip book, online flip book, available for all for free read. Go ahead.
And we have Dr. Jayashree Saranathan here as well, who has done a lot of work on this, and to show how you correlate him with the first Sangam. From the Thiruvalluvar Malai and the verses there, you can correlate him with the first Sangam. And we have also shown in Bharat Gyan how these different Sangams match with the eras of Ramayana. First Sangam pre-Ramayana, second Sangam where Kapatapuram was there is in Ramayana you find mention. Then you have the third Sangam coinciding with the Dwaraka deluge. So these are time frames. So when we look at Thiruvalluvar, he is actually coming down to us from so many millennia.
The point we're trying to say is it is easily now literally possible to match the two. That's between the literature of both north and south. It is matchable using modern science, astronomy and archaeology, literature. All three converge is the beauty of what we're getting down to say here. And one thing if it's done, Thirukural of Thiruvalluvar is comprehensive, it's packed, brevity and concise. These are, you think, the modern management terms, but this is what reality is, what we have. Absolutely, and given to us millennia ago. And 2 people have commented on this. We're going to show small animations that we have made on the subject. We'll show. See, yes, this
So, Idaikadar in Thiruvalluvar Malai, which is a collection of verses praising Thirukural and Thiruvalluvar from across times by different Sangam scholars and others. So, in this Idaikadar, in verse number 54, he talks about how in Thirukural it is as though you take a mustard and you make a hole in the mustard, and Thiruvalluvar has brought all the 7 seas, water of all the 7 seas into that mustard. So
that
in
means-
in that small couplet he has managed to bring in wisdom. So they also said it is Kadal. So Adavan and Kadal. So the Kadal, Kadal has been pushed into a small Kadugu.
all the world's knowledge, here is a person who's been able to bring it into a mustard seed. That is one Siddhar's observation. And we have Avayar's observation, not just a Kadugu, he's been able to bring it into an atom, an Anu. So that is the beauty. So what are we celebrating? The greatness of a man who is able to bring knowledge to us in such brevity, such comprehensiveness. It's comprehensive but concise. That is the greatness that இது சொல்லச்சே புல்லரிக்கிறது நிஜமா, because it's like Roma Harshana, it's hair standing experience. That is what our Thirukural has achieved millennia ago for us.
And this has inspired so many people. See, how do you judge something is an inspiration? When you find people making duplicates, when you find people making translations. In present days, it's duplicates. You just make copies. Whereas in translations, then you see that people, they want to know what is in it. And one of the first languages was Malayalam in 1500s. And subsequently, there have been many translations. One of the very famous translation is...
I'm sure Honorable Governor would have visited his ashram. So this is one of the early translations. From there on to Gujarati also, it's been translated recently and made available to our Honorable Prime Minister. And we want to take, so it's gone across languages, and we have it now, as Honorable mentioned, it's been translated into Sanskrit also 50 years ago. So we have in multiple languages, we have this. Now I'm going to take there in Sanskrit also. Thirukural has been translated across languages. I'm going to take one more example. Beautiful example. We'll show an animation if possible about this. How Thirukural traveled, how did it reach Mahatma Gandhi? When Mahatma Gandhi was a youngster practicing lawyer in South Africa, he was getting...
Mahatma Gandhi had established Tolstoy farm in South Africa. We have all read about it. That is because he was impressed by Tolstoy. He was so inspired by Tolstoy, and he was having great exchanges, correspondences with Tolstoy. Now, what was there in those communication between Tolstoy and Gandhi?
What is the point? Because lot of moral value points were given by Tolstoy to M.K. Gandhi, then Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So he asked, where are you getting these points from? He said, a Russian, he said, I got it from Germany, who in turn got it from Tamil Nadu. So look at these points traveling from...
So here is where you get, he says, my source of inspiration is Thirukural, Thiruvalluvar. So, if you really look at it now, this entire line of inspiration, from Tamilagam, Thirukural, it goes to Germany, Karl Graul. His translation is read by Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy then sends it to Gandhi when he is in South Africa. And then Gandhi, when he comes to Gujarat, he brings it back with him. So look at the web and where all the pugar has gone.
So the reason of calling it Tolstoy is because of the knowledge, the values that he got from there. This is all in the letters. So that's the beauty of it.
And why were Tolstoy and Gandhi inspired by Thirukural? One side, yes, all the various spiritual aspects, but it also has very practical wisdom for administration, dharmic administration. So there are 10 Kurals on the qualities of a ruler as well as the role of a Sengol. This is from 381 to 390. So these are some of the things in Kural which have inspired, and it is very relevant for present times as well, because it also promotes thinking from a sustainable perspective. There are Kurals on how to give importance to water harnessing, and it is also about the rains.
Practical need of the land is what? Understanding a rains and water harnessing, that has also been dealt with. So from this we can see from various perspectives, there are 10 Kural for this, for water harnessing, rains, understanding it. So the beneficial is, so Kural has dealt with a range of subjects for us to be used then as values, as maxims, morals and practical application. It is for us to pick and choose which we want, for which application, when and where. And Kural always stands for the idea of universality of Dharma. It's a strong Dharma. This land has always been a Dharmic land, a Dharma connect land. And one of the best examples we can look at a pan-Bharat level is the 16 values that Rama stood for, which is there and which gave the concept of Ramarajya. And similarly, when we look at the spokes, that's what the Kashchit Sarga chapter in Ramayana is about Ramarajya, the 56 questions that was asked on the 16 values. Now coming on to the Indian flag, what do we have? We have the Dharma Chakra. Look at the Dharma Chakra, it speaks about Dharma. The 24 spokes speak about 24 aspects of Dharma. That is the beauty that this land has always been Dharmic in every aspect, and twinning this Dharma for
And
us.
this aspect of Dharma, while you also find dedicated Kurals on administration and Dharma conduct, Kural itself is very Dharmic in nature. I mean, it's a twin aspect you will find where it talks about both philosophy and action. So it encourages you to act, but at the same time tells you, gives you the philosophy, it injects the philosophy also in it. So it talks about both the Dharma and the Karma, which are the fundamental anchors of this civilizational thought.
Absolutely. So given this,
So he's saying absolutely, just like Villupattu.
next point.
So that's the whole idea, that you have these kind of couplets which are about
So we are
Dharma
celebrating
and Karma
Thiruvalluvar
together.
Thirunal
twinning.
here. Look at the idea in Kerala. Every Raja is called by the name Thirunal. They don't call him by the personal name. So this land has had a concept of celebrating every Thirunal. So celebrating Thiruvalluvar Thirunal is an important aspect of our Dharma, our culture, our Kalacharam. So not only should we would like to place before the Honorable Governor that not only should we celebrate it once a year, every month on Anusha Nakshatram, different education institutions, universities, all of us should celebrate this concept of Thiruvalluvar, his values, all that, because that is where we take in the universality and bring it to the students who are the next gen of the land.
Because it is our job now to carry this memory forward. And to carry a memory, you need an anchor. And what can be the anchor? Your sky. So the sky with the month, Vaigasi, and the Anusham in the sky, if we understand what is this Vaigasi and Anusham, then we can hold on to it and use it as an anchor to carry the memory, the values, and the message of Thiruvalluvar for the next generation.
When she says anchor, people always think of putting the anchor deep in the sea. What she is saying is put the anchor in the sky. Right opposite contrast, so that that holds it, because we can visibly see it. That's the beauty of it. That is how we can celebrate this day and the values of Dharma. And all this available in the online flip book for all of it. It's in the Bharat Gyan website in the mini book section. Available
So if
for
you
all.
go to our website, Bharat Gyan, there will be a mini book section. You can go to this mini book section, and the book that Honorable Governor has released
Just
today
released.
will be in this mini book section, and you can read it here. Just a brief minute to show you where it is.
The Thiruvalluvar. So he is truly the patron sant of Tamil Nadu. And let's all celebrate our patron sant. The full book is available for free read for all, from your phone, from any electronic instrument. Both my wife, Dr. Hema, and I would like to thank the Honorable Governor and the Sabai for giving us this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.